Hello and welcome, this is Mousegunner, and we're back with some more BattleTech and my continued look at the backer beta build and the single player skirmish mode that is currently the only mode available. And for this video, I'm going to be continuing on with my gimmicky builds, and it doesn't get any more gimmicky than this. This is my 4-of-a-kind build, where all 4 mechs in the lance are exactly the same. And I chose the Kintaro. Not only is it a good mech, but it also mathematically works out into our 25 million budget. At different budgets, I could see you putting in different mechs. More than likely, the Jenner would be your 20 million. Actually, no, you could afford more than that. What would be your 20 million? You'd have to go somewhere close to 5 million. Yeah, I guess your Centurion would be possibly a perfect fit for 20 million. But in this case, it's going to be our Kintaro. Unfortunately, the Yager mech is just a little bit too expensive, and the Kintaro gets in right at that level. But also, it's a solid mech that I could see you loading out all 4 of your mechs with. So, our opponent is going to be the Heavy Cavalry Lance yet again, because I feel like this is a pretty good lance for the AI to utilize. We didn't see that so much in the last video, but I'm hoping that this time they'll do a little bit better. Let's go ahead and get into the match. So the problem we're going to have with this loadout is going to be, well, the fact that we have really no balance. We're very one-sided in the fact that we have the same mech multiple times. But all the weaknesses that a Kintaro has are going to be our weakness for all of our mechs. So heat curve is going to be our big problem with the Kintaro. Otherwise, the Kintaro is pretty good. It's got good maneuverability. It's got really good armor for its weight. So it's a pretty solid mech. The problem is just dealing with that heat curve. Alright, so I'm playing at twilight, so it's pretty dark outside the edge of our view. We do have water over here that we might want to actually get this fight into. I can't see exactly how big the water is. I'm not that familiar with this map. I know this is one of the smaller maps, but we might want to draw this fight into the water if we can. So let's grab Paradise here. Now, mostly my pilot loadout, I went with Buckshot and Ozone because of their high gut skill, which is going to allow them to deal with heat a little bit better. I went with Arc Light just so that we have a little bit more of a initiative spread rather than having everybody go in the same initiative phase. And then finally, Paradise. Paradise is just going to give us that evasiveness. If you move around, the water might be a little too deep over here to move around in. So I don't know how much of an advantage we're going to get from this water, but we're going to try and get some kind of advantage. Okay, go ahead and move Ozone over this way. And the real problem we're going to have is just a lack of scouting. There's not going to be really, we're going to keep together and just move as a mass. And this is normally not the kind of strategy I would utilize, but we'll have to see how effective it is against the AI. Usually speaking, I think the AI responds pretty well to this tactic, so we'll have to see. It's usually ambushing and spreading yourself out that kind of throws the AI off. Keeping together and just running straight at them is usually a strategy the AI can do just fine with. Okay, Paradise is our lead mech. We are going to keep line of sight cut off if we can, as much as possible. So we'll start moving around this little bit of a island. And maybe we can get a sensor contact. So far, nothing. We'll move in Ozone right in behind. Actually, I forgot where I moved here, so gonna wait for that turn. Okay, we'll move like that, so we've got view of behind us. And I don't think we can walk in water that deep, so in the tabletop game you would be able to, but this game isn't a tabletop game, so as long as there wasn't too much of a fall off, you could move there. In theory. There's a lot of complicated rules, though, with fully submerged mechs. I mean, I guess it's not that complicated, but it's more complicated than I'm sure they're going for, so. Alright, so they have mostly medium mechs, as we have mostly medium mechs. That's one of the things that I think makes this matchup pretty nice. As much as I gave Arclight a initiative bonus, I think I'm going to go ahead and reserve here. Although Arclight might be in a position where she's going to take fire, but she gets to keep the evasive, so for the meantime, I think it's okay to have a reserve. Okay, we still don't have line of sight established, but they might. It depends. It depends on what their pilot skill is. So we're going to reserve again. I would like to respond to them. Yet again, the AI can't do that, so I'm kind of taking advantage of them in that way, but it is a mechanic of the game, so I'm not going to ignore a mechanic of the game. Now, the downside of the fact that we don't have sensor lock with any of our pilots is we cannot remove evasive. Oh, we did just take some good damage there. And we only dodged a little bit of that damage, so that's unfortunate for us. Okay, now we can respond to that attack nicely, so we'll have Arclight start moving up in here. And we're going to want to stay submerged, so anywhere that we can do that, that'd be nice.
Understood.
And more or less, we're just going to open up on these guys as much as possible. Alright, so the question we have is, do we want to fire at somebody that has evasive, or do we want to fire... Well, I think that's a pretty clear choice here. We're going to be firing at the guy that has evasive. I'm definitely turning off the LRM-5 in this case. It's not going to be all that useful. This is a lot of heat build-up here, but I think we're going to go ahead with it. It's not that bad when we're in the water. So a lot of dodging going to happen here, but we're still going to do good damage. Oh, the dodges were a little late for the party. Okay, so Ozone is going to move up as well. I should probably plan this out a little bit better than I am. So Buckshot's going to move up. In this case, we do have direct line of sight to this guy, but our chance to hit is not particularly great. So... frankly, it's not that different, though. I think we're going to turn off the... at least one of the SRM-6s, and we'll fire the rest.
Here we go.
Okay.
How might I help?
Now we can have Paradise move. Now, Paradise has the advantage of getting evasive while moving. We might be able to knock this sucker down, which would be nice. Okay, I think we're going to do more or less the same thing. Turn off one of the SRM-6s and fire the rest.
He's going down.
We didn't get very lucky with some of those shots, but still did pretty good damage. Then finally, Ozone's chance to shoot here. So we've got a 3-on-4 situation. We're maintaining our presence in the water. Again, turn off one SRM-6 and fire the rest. Now, I suspect that's going to knock him down. No, really? Okay. Okay, there you go. There's the knockdown. Okay, here comes their assault mech, who's going to be a problem for us when it gets here. Oh, we've got at least one more turn before that happens.
What do you need?
Okay, so Arclight is going to move over here and stay in the water. And we're going to go after the guy that's knocked down, at least in theory. Okay, the LRM we're going to turn on. And I am going to fire everything we've got here. I'm going to go right for the center torso, try and get a kill.
Targeting for an...
Although I doubt it will get one. Still good damage. Hey, Shadowhawk's going to get up, no surprise there. Must have the bulwark trait. Oh, no, not quite. I'm not sure why they were getting guarded there. Okay, gonna come in and do some damage. I should be able to out-armor my opponent, so... At this stage, Buckshot and Ozone actually have quite a bit of an advantage in that they can get guarded by not moving and attacking, because that's their bulwark trait. So, we're going to continue to go after the Shadowhawk, try and take him out. So in this case, we're going to turn off the LRM-5 and switch back on the SRM-6, and we're going to fire it all at him.
All right.
Gonna be a ton of damage here. Okay, the Griffin's gonna back off. Do a little bit of damage to Buckshot, but that's actually who we would want that damage to be done to because of damage reduction. And Ozone has that same advantage, so we're gonna go ahead and attack here first before they get a chance to respond. So let's go ahead and dump more fire. We're gonna remove the LRM-5 and just fire everything else. And this water is giving me a tremendous advantage, so that I can just do tons of damage and not really have too much of a consequence for it. Okay, now their other Griffin is going to back off and not fire. Okay, didn't quite expect that. We need to move a little bit here to be able to get the evasive, so I think we're just going to move up slightly. That does mean that we're going to be a relatively easy target to hit, but we'll be able to get a called shot on the down mech. So we're going to be turning off the LRM-5, turning on the SRM-6, and we're going to go for the center torso, trying to get a kill.
Target confirmed.
Okay, we stripped through the Shadowhawk's armor. Hopefully we can get a kill soon. Okay, here comes the big bad boy. So, this next turn is going to be tricky for us. I'll move back over this way, because we could take a lot of damage through that that Victor here. I'm going to try and get the kill here. I'm okay with the heat. Let's go for it. We want to kill here. Okay, so the real threat to us now is going to be the Victor. I think we respond to whatever the Victor does, because the only real threat right now to us is Arc Light. Arc Light could take a lot of damage, but we want to be able to respond to what the Victor does without him getting evasive. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and reserve twice, let him go. Because while they're attacking these guys, look, we're dodging, they're missing a lot, they're not really doing a ton of damage to us. So it's good to keep that while we've got it. We'll reserve again. And let's see, and now if I was the AI, I'd go after Arclight, because that's the weak link. That's the one that doesn't have really any defensive bonuses. And that's exactly what he's going to do.
I'm hit.
Alright, we might want to back off with Arclight next turn. But now we can respond. Oh, he still has evasive. What a bastard. Alright, well, we can still respond here. So, Paradise move first. And we're going to get in behind the Victor and just unload on him. I think we're going to do that with all of our mechs, really, to be honest with you. I think that's a good call. But yeah, we're going to move in here. I'm going to get his back. If we're going to give anybody our back, who do we want to give our back with? Alright, I'm going to do you moving here. I have to be careful with the snap. Okay, looks like that's going to do it.
Certainly.
Now, we're going to be very hot at the end of this, but it's well worth doing. And there's no reason not to take this heat, in my opinion. We got to open up on this guy in his back while we've got the advantage. Now, granted, he still has evasive. There's not really a whole lot I can do about that. But I can at least remove the cover and try and take his back.
He's going down.
And he dodged so much of that freaking damage. That is why I hate evasive. And when you don't have sensor lock, there's not a whole lot you can do about it other than punching him, which is not really our forte. So do we stand and trade, or we try and get in behind him? It's going to be hard to stay in behind him because pretty much I think I may have already lost this, to be honest with you. I'm going to move. Ugh. Okay, so I can only get in behind him with a couple of my mechs anyway. Damn. This is not great. I still think we take his back. I don't like it, but I don't feel like I have much choice here. And we'll open up here.
Copy that, Commander.
Again, he's dodging so much of the damage that we're outputting. Now, if he didn't have that dodge,
Watch my heat.
think about how much damage he would have taken. I think we would have killed him.
Right here.
Oh, okay, we do have an opportunity here. We gotta go for this, but it is very risky. And if we'd only hit with more last turn, we might have made him lose his evasive by making him unsteady. But, alright, let's go ahead and open up again.
Targeting rear armor.
Now we're gonna do real damage. As a matter of fact, I think we go for the kill with Arc Light. Because I think we'll be able to pull it off. So, it's putting some of my mechs at risk, but we're taking out their highest threat mech if we do this. So,
Standing by.
question is, can I get in behind? I don't think I can, actually. Oof. But we'll be able to out-initiative him anyway, right? So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and break line of sight with the baddies. I don't want to break it that way, though. And then I might just brace up here to try and remove the unsteady so that we don't end up going down. Okay, he's going to get my back. I do have evasive, though. I just complained about evasive on my opponent. We get the advantage there. Okay, so the first one we're going to want to move is Ozone, because we can get that defensive going. So let's open up on this guy. I'm going to go for his center torso. And let's try not to shut down. You know, screw it. Let's shut down. I'm going to open up with everything here. Shutdown's a shutdown. That's okay. I think we need to kill this guy.
Acknowledge, Commander.
Okay, so that was worth doing. We're going to shut down, but
Level peg. Shut down.
now that makes everybody else better off. They're going to go for another back shot here, or a punch. Okay. We're going to take some damage.
There's a hole in my armor.
Okay.
Reporting.
So we've got two of them down. We did some risky play to get it, but I'm going to go ahead and move, get back into the water so we can cool off. And we'll fire off what we can fire off. You know what? I lie. We're going to brace here. And the reason I'm going to brace is so that I can cool off, but also so I can get my evasive back. So we're going to be very defensive this turn. Okay.
Yes, Commander.
Buckshot is also going to move back into the water here. So next turn they may be able to attack me, but they're not going to have much success here. So I'm just going to brace, cool myself off. We're in water. If I was them, I'd go after Ozone, which just makes perfect sense. So we're going to try and do some damage to them to get them to cut it out, more or less.
Understood. Understood.
So who's the more damaged? None of them. I don't know if either one of them has taken any damage yet. Alright. Well, we'll open up on this one. Fire everything we got except the other M5. Okay. Give him something to think about. You gonna get in behind, or you're gonna punch? Okay. Maybe not the best choice, but it's possible if they punch with both of their mechs. Okay, well that guy just gave me a great target, really. So Ozone here is gonna restart so that he's not shut down anymore. And also reduce the damage. You're gonna try and get in behind me, huh? Not quite. So I do get the damage reduction. Now that does force Buckshot to move, though, because Buckshot does not have a target, I don't think. Yeah, not without moving. So what I'm going to do is we're going to just get in behind him, really. I mean, why not? And I will Inspire as well. I noticed that the button's up, so we'll use that. Inspire.
Yes. Go, go, go.
And we'll open up on the rear. We'll do the same thing with Paradise here in a second. Heavy damage. I don't think this guy's going to stay alive. Okay, Paradise is going to move there. Take this guy's back and annihilate him. Center torso and fire.
The target is confirmed.
Extremely quick match going right now. I guess I'm not that surprised that we're getting that quick of a match.
I'm here.
Alright, do we go in for a back attack here? I mean, I see no reason why not. I mean, we'll get a lot of heat, but this guy's going to take a ton of damage, and as a result, I'll back off with the medium lasers. We'll hit him with the SRM-6s. It's still going to be a lot of damage.
I have the advantage.
Okay. The enemy mech may brace to try and remove the unsteady, as the AI is kind of want to do. Which is exactly what they do. Okay.
Orders.
Ozone can get in behind. Not quite. Well, he can punch. The punch will remove the... guard, so we can do full damage here. Not a great chance to hit, but it's something. And we've got to repay our enemy for... Ah, well, we missed.
Stand still, dummy.
Okay, at this point... I mean, we're going to do damage as best as we can. Oh, did we remove the guard, though, so that's good. I thought I remembered that being the case, that if you punched at somebody, you removed the guard, which allows your other mechs to take advantage. So, LRM-5 still not great for this. We'll go ahead and fire, though.
Engaging.
But we'll be able to get his back next turn because Arclight will outdo him as far as initiative, and then I think we got ourselves a dead duck. I will shut myself down doing it, but
Waiting orders.
that's okay. I can't establish a line of sight here. I can if I go here. Oh, there's a good spot, too. All right, we'll move in there.
Certainly.
Unload on this guy. I don't think we'll take him out with this, but it's worth a try. I'll turn off a medium laser just so we don't heat up too much.
Target.
Kintaras are sure devastating. It's one of the reasons why, as much as this is a very gimmicky, silly build, the 4-of-a-kind build actually does kind of work. Just because Kintaras are so good. They've got good armor, they've got good firepower. The only real problem you have is dealing with the heat. Okay, let's get in behind here. and just unload on this sucker. As I said, I'm going to gladly take the shutdown just to kill him. So, open up with some medium lasers here, take the center torso, and fire. I expect this guy's dead. Boom. Alright, well that was a quick mission. We got through it, and we didn't take really that much damage either. I think the pilot loadout worked okay. I mean, our real problem was just dealing with evasive for those first couple turns, and the Victor was a real problem just because he was rocking Paradise, which allowed him to have evasive every turn, which is, you know, I've stated in the past, evasive is super powerful, especially when you have it on an assault mech like that. Evasive on an assault mech is kind of a nightmarish situation. Alright, well in any case, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. This definitely was as gimmicky as it gets, but it's still a very fun build. In any case, this is Mouse Gunner, signing out.